Hi, everyone. Welcome to Cozy Corner Chronicles. I'm Julia,
And I'm Liz.
and we are going to talk about our TBRs. Some of our TBRs, we did this segment a little bit ago, maybe like 2 months ago. I don't remember.
It was a while
Anyways,
ago.
yeah, we're back
Yeah.
because you may be tired of us talking about the same books, but now we're here with different books. So, with that being said, let's hop right into it.
Yes. Okay, so I was just talking to Julia earlier. The real books I've been reading have been textbooks, but I do have a TBR that I really, really am pushing to read for the month of September because I still feel like reading just gives me time to wind down and to relax and to get my brain to stop thinking so much. So I am going to be back on reading, and I think I haven't been held accountable because reading Happiness Falls and all of that. So anyways, I have 4 here with me that I really hope to finish in September. One is The Housemaid.
Uh,
Yes. So I'm sure I can finish this in a day. So that because after I read The Teacher, I was like, okay, maybe so.
and The Housemaid will have That's a 3-book series, right?
Yes.
There's 3, so okay.
I know. And then Binding 13. Fourth Wing. And
I also need
actually,
to read that.
I saw somebody reading it by the pool, and I wanted to ask her if it was good, but she was reading. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this. She was reading so slow. We were there for 3 hours, and I watched her turn the page maybe 10 times.
Okay, so she's just like a slower reader.
Yes, whoever
Okay.
they were. And then Caraval.
All right, I see this fantasy vibe going on.
You know what? I'm really trying to get into my bag. Okay, funny story. I'm not a scary movie person, right? And I'm also not a fantasy movie person. I'm not into Harry Potter and all that stuff,
Yeah,
whatever.
same.
But I really am trying to switch the gears because maybe I will like it. I also started watching Star Wars last night. So
Oh,
we watched the first movie, 1977. And
we
honestly,
starting.
for 1977, the graphics were actually really impressive to me.
Really? Okay, I am the same as you. I've never been a Harry Potter fan, never been a Star Wars fan. Fantasy has never been my thing either. I'm more of an action girl movie type of person, a
Uh-huh.
romance. But recently with the Harry Potter, a lot of my friends have actually started reading Harry Potter.
Hmm.
And I'm like, should I read Harry Potter? But
Yeah. And going back to that, I've really been trying to get into fantasy, like I had just told you, and more thriller, psychological thriller stuff because if anybody knows me, I don't like scary movies and I get very paranoid and if I read those kind of books or watch those kind of thriller movies, even thriller movies, I get scared. It has to be in the morning.
I do
There
remember
has
that.
to be light outside. I can watch it. I mean, I can read it right now. As soon as the sun starts to set, no ma'am. I don't know why.
Fair. Fair. I think for me, I draw the line at anything ghost related. I will never ever watch a ghost movie again that I don't know much about. Okay, I kind of did break that rule actually for one a movie, but it actually wasn't even that scary when I watched it. But thrillers and stuff don't scare me, but ghosts do. So I'm like,
I think only because okay, yes, ghosts, scary, scary all the time. But I also think because one of my biggest fears is to get kidnapped.
yeah, yeah.
It's yeah, I literally will my palms will be so sweaty towards the end of like a thriller book. I don't know. Even though I know I can close the book and just
Yeah.
no.
But you got to know.
Yeah, I have to know.
Well, I might read Fourth Wing with you. So maybe that could be for the podcast
Yeah,
or
maybe I can
whatever we
save that
do.
for that. Definitely.
Yeah. But I've heard great things about Fourth Wing. I think everyone on TikTok talks about Fourth Wing like no other.
Yeah.
So maybe it's time.
And, I forget that it was, like, about dragons and stuff. Well,
Yeah,
there's literally a dragon on it, and I've been watching House of Dragons,
that's a spinoff of
Game
Game of
of
Thrones?
Thrones. Yeah.
I still haven't seen Game of Thrones, dude. I know.
Okay, okay, well, let me say this. Once you get okay, first the first episode gets you hooked. Like,
Okay,
I told myself, I was like, "Ugh, like, Game of Thrones, who watches that?" Carl was like, "No, you have to watch it just to
to
understand."
watch this.
And, like, in the beginning, like, in the first, like, season and stuff, it is, like, near very, like, soft PORN, but,
Okay,
like, it's so good, the storyline is so good, and, like, you literally get hooked off the first episode, like, you're just like, "Wait, how? Why?"
okay. I need to give it a try, but I think the reason I'm deterred by it is because I like to watch things in public, and because it's, like,
Yeah.
soft PORN, I'm like, I can't watch it, like, in public. Because when I'm on the treadmill, I'm like, I'm watching my
Yeah,
anime, like
yeah, and, you can, like, the scenes aren't, like, extremely long, you
Okay, so
know?
you could just
Yeah, it's not a lot of corn, but, like,
okay,
it is there's I don't know why they incorporated that much into it, but it does get better throughout the seasons where they, like,
okay,
stop making it so much corn and do more of the storyline.
just, like, storyline. Okay, okay,
Yeah.
then I will definitely try my best to get into it
Dude,
because
it is so good. I honestly thought I was like, I would never, never watch Game of Thrones. Watched it. I would rewatch it, is
addicted.
how much I like it.
Really?
Yes.
Dang, so fantasy, that's your first fantasy light.
Yeah, so I really feel like because of that, I might actually really enjoy Fourth Wing.
We can do this. Because people were saying it gives Game of Thrones vibes, so let's do it. Okay. My TBRs are always very extensive. So sorry, I'm clacking on my phone, but so this book I've been having on my shelf for let's see, I bought it November, that's almost a year ago. So it's called Days at the Morisaki Bookshop. Let me show you the picture, guys. I'm sorry, I don't have I'm not gonna pull it out because it's just too much work. No offense. But so Days at the Morisaki Bookshop is this very cute cover.
Ew,
It's like 300
cutesy.
pages. Yeah, it's like 300. Yeah, it's cozy, 300 pages. It people say just is like a life at a bookshop, like very endearing. The reason I want to read it is because the second book just came out
Mhm.
and it's called More Days at the Morisaki Bookshop. I love this cover even more than the first one.
Stop, that is so cute.
Yeah, I don't know if they switched whoever provided the cover,
Mhm.
but I love it, and I think I'm actually gonna buy it soon. I haven't committed to it because I think I'm gonna stop myself until I read the first one, but anyways, that is on my TBR, the top of my TBR list. I honestly made a TikTok video saying, like, here's my August TBR. Let me tell you guys, I did not stick to that TBR at all because I started getting distracted with other books that I promised I would read. Except Project Hail Mary was one that I did stick to, and I'm in the process of working my way through it. Anyways, next up, tip top of my priority list because, yeah. So, the Hollow Boy series, Monty J. It's a dark romance. It's 5 books. Guys, guys, you don't understand. Guys, I don't know what the hell she put in these books. It could be caffeine because I feel like I'm getting like caffeine withdrawals when I don't read this shit. So, let me explain. For those who have never read the Hollow Boy series, it is a dark romance set in Ponderosa Springs. I don't know if that's a real place. Someone tell me if it's a real place because you know how authors be making up places. I don't know. So
Interesting.
it's dark romance in that these the guy main characters, they're not like morally great people. Obviously, that's why it's a dark romance. This is one of those rare series where it follows like 4 different couples, but there's a storyline that follows within all 5 books. So your main
Interesting.
story, yeah, like your main story is a romance, but throughout the entire romance, there's still like the underlying plot, which I think is really hard to do as an author. But those are the types of books that I feel like I need when it comes to that because I can't, like I've said, I have a really hard time reading interconnected standalones.
Right,
So
right.
like if it's just one couple and then they introduce another and then you read the next couple, like I have a really hard time doing that. But this book has a storyline throughout all 5 books that actually is interesting. So I finished the first book. It's called The Lies We Steal, back probably, I want to say last summer.
Mhm.
So it's been a while. And then the second book was The Truths We Burn. I just finished that. And then the next couple gets 2 books. It's The Blood We Crave, part 1 and 2. And
Hmm.
I am super interested in that. Yeah. So, and then the last book is called The Oath We Give. So let me just give backstory. If you guys don't like spoilers, just skip this part. But I don't know if you're going to read it, so I'm just going to tell you about it. So the whole like underlying plot is that there's these twin girls. One of them is Sage, the other is Rose. The Hollow Boys are Alistar, Thatcher, Silas, and Rook. And they cause like mayhem. Their families are, super involved in town. They're like the rich boys, all that stuff. But they don't have, with the exception of one of them, they don't have good family lives. So lots of trigger warnings coming up, so skip this part if you guys don't want to hear about it. Rook gets beat up by his dad.
My
Like he
God.
gets beat and abused by his dad. Thatcher's dad was a serial killer and got like arrested and is in jail. Everybody knows that like his dad's a serial killer. Alistar and his family just got a lot of beef. And then Silas is the only family life that is like decent. Like family is, but he's schizophrenic. So it's very interesting. So Silas was dating Rose and she got murdered. And she got murdered, so they're avenging her death. But as like, you go through the storyline, Alistar's story is first because he's, the ringleader, and he starts dating this girl who moved into Ponderosa Springs, so that was a whole thing. And then as the story continues, basically, I'm really invested in the fact that I think the last book is about Silas. And I didn't think that the author would write a love interest for Silas because the whole premise is focused on him avenging his dead ex girlfriend now, right? So I'm just really invested. I'm really, really, really invested in how they're going to do that because it just seems like a very hard topic to write about, especially when you get so attached to
The characters
yeah
and
so
stuff.
yeah so
Yeah.
I'm so excited, and I have not been this excited to read a series in a while because usually 3 is my tap out. Like I'll read 3 books and I'm like, it's too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you guys ever want to read something like that, you guys should read the book series. It's really, really good, and each book apparently gets even better. So like Alistar's story has the least rated on Goodreads and Amazon, and then I saw that like the third and fourth book have some of the highest ratings, and then the fifth book has a really high rating. So I am invested. So with that being said, will I get to them all? We'll
Yes,
see if time allows me to.
of
But
course you will.
yeah, so that's all I do is I just read and go to work.
And that's okay. Because you know what? You're just minding your own business. That's
Yeah.
fine.
It's not that
Unbothered
I'm
queen.
antisocial, but
Unbothered queen. Unbothered queen.
literally. So with that being said, guys,
Yeah, I think that we both are kind of exploring, different books and stuff. And we haven't really did a setup or a timeline for what we're going to do in September
yeah.
in terms of the podcast and everything. So stay tuned for that. Um, we are trying because Julia has read a plethora of books. So we are trying to do books that she also hasn't read so that we have really raw, you know, emotions about
Reactions
what,
and
yeah,
yeah.
reactions about what is going on with the book. So we are going to come up with a lineup soon and we're going to figure out what we're going to do for September, and hopefully it's more other books than romance.
Yeah, I know. It's hard because we love romance to the core, you know.
And you know what's funny is I feel like our most candid shows are romance books.
Yes, because it's like, man, they really got me kicking and giggling my feet. Like, oh my God, I just read Better Than the Movies, which every TikTok blew it up, of course. And there was this line, okay, like it's finally at the spoiler alert, so nobody freaking listens to this part either. But at the end of the book, when finally, you know, like the main character is starting to be like, oh my God, like, do I like him? Maybe blah, blah, blah. And she like doesn't get it through her head that like he obviously likes her, even though people are like telling, you know, it's high school romance. Everyone's like that. But she makes this comment to him that's like, well, that girl that you were just with, like your prom date, she's like pretty, she's funny, she's talkative, like she plays sports, like, and he cuts her off mid sentence and he's like, but she isn't you. I was literally screeching. I was so happy. I was like, thank God. It's like moments like those that got me like, you know?
That reminds me of us reading what is it? Lunar Love.
Literally, Bennett, I will never forget when Bennett goes,
Surprise! It's me. It's me.
it lives rent free in my head.
It lives
So
rent free.
so with that all being said, we're gonna try not to do romance books, but that's why we start Happiness Falls, and that's why we're doing Kane's Jawbone. I think we haven't really done a fantasy book on the podcast.
Yeah.
So I think we will do a fantasy book.
Maybe
Which,
a thriller
you know,
too.
yeah, maybe thriller. I think that would be a good one.
Yeah.
I haven't
Also,
read too many.
I was thinking, now that Julia has been, amping up our TikTok and all that stuff, and now we can go live, I was thinking that we could record our podcast, but also do TikTok live at the same time
Yeah.
while we're doing Kane's Jawbone.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you guys would be interested in that,
Let us know.
TikTok.
TikTok.
Talk tick.
Let us know.
Yeah, and we might also start a blog. I think blogs are a little easier to manage because some days you just don't want to be on camera. So blogs, at least you could just, you know, type.
Tip.
So we might do that. So if you guys want us to blog, or honestly, we might just do it and then just not force you guys, but encourage you guys. Yeah. or else. To subscribe to our blog, because why not?
And now that we've reached 1,000 followers, maybe we can do like a little giveaway or something.
Yeah, I was thinking that because I have some books that's how you know I have a problem. I like bought books that I forgot I already bought. So might as well give them to some people who want to read.
Maybe we can do a giveaway. You know how there's like blind date with a book or blind date with a book, right? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Okay, and we can like wrap it up really nice and like put little bookmarks and blah blah blahs in there, and those can be our giveaways.
Yeah, so if you guys would be interested in that, we'll probably do one. We'll just announce on TikTok for the 2 people who view our stuff, but
the 300 people though.
Yeah, but you know what? A book is a book.
Yeah.
Like,
a book is a book.
They're thick and thin, our followers. So, yes, thank you for tuning in with us. We will see you guys whenever we get to do more Kane's Jawbone stuff. That one will probably take a lot longer to decipher and to film just because there's a lot of research and work that goes into it. It's like a full-time job.
Yeah, and we are, again, going to do our best, and hopefully if we do it on TikTok Live, we can get some input from other people, and that will kind of grow this little community where we're building up to the second Kane's Jawbone.
I agree. So with that being said, thank you guys, and bye!
Bye!